I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. Well, today we will continue with this notion of how are our knees feeling and kind of chest and back. So have a couple of blocks available. And we'll start supine with legs long. So get comfortable on your back with the legs long, and just kind of find, to come into your breath. See if you can see where your shoulders are at, and if you can invite the arm bone to draw down towards the floor, which gives a chest opening kind of sensation. At least it does in my body. Sometimes I describe it as having a long collarbone, although your collarbone obviously literally never changes shape, but we can imagine that it's gotten longer because we've drawn the arm bone into the socket. As you're in your breath, just notice the interaction of your breath and your chest as it deepens and starts to involve the belly. You might feel how the diaphragm, as it draws down, actually creates a vacuum in the cavity of the chest, which helps to draw air in. All right, so let's try something slightly different today. Lift your arms up. I'll sit up, make a cactus shape on the ground. And everybody's a little bit different. Some people's hands won't actually land on the floor, and that's okay. Just kind of wherever is comfortable for you, just sort of feel like the hands are heavy. They're going back even if they don't touch the floor. And then having done that, let's bring your toes up in the air. You don't have to flex so strongly, but the toes are in the air and you're right on your heels. And then what I want to do is we're going to play with moving our kneecaps. So I want you to just pull the right kneecap up. So it's really engaging the quadricep to lift the right kneecap and then let it descend. And then lift the left kneecap and let it descend. Just notice this, essentially flexing of the quadricep is doing this. And you can feel, I do feel some response in my hamstrings, which would be the antagonist muscle to the quadricep, right? The paired muscle to the quadricep. So alternate a couple more times. And then let's go ahead and pull them both up together. So just both quadriceps act and then release. They both pull up, release. They both pull up and release. All right. Now you can shake your legs out, to kind of nod your feet so that you relax everything. All right, now let's play with some. So now your pinkies are closer to the floor, right? So your feet are a little bit like in a first position kind of place. And from here, I just want to slide my right knee up. I'm bending my right knee by sliding it up in an externally rotated way as high as I can. And I can feel my glute muscles doing that work, and slide back out and then slide the other leg up. So you're just coming up as high as is comfortable for you. Everybody would be a little bit different here. No problem there. One more time to the right. This gets into some hip mobility too. One more time to the left. And certainly, the joints of the legs, so we're focused on the knees today, but the knees are working with the hips and working with the ankle perpetually. So after all that, let's go classic and bend the knees now fully in center, hip width apart, and your feet are comfortably on the floor. Maybe they're under your feet, maybe they're not quite this far in, but wherever is comfortable for you, arms down by your side. And since you've taken your arms out of this cactus position, reassert those arm bones are drawing back onto the mat. And we're gonna focus on pull the shoulders back and press the feet at the same time to inhale up into your bridge pose and exhale down. And there's all kinds of muscles activating, obviously keep going with your bridge. There's all kinds of muscles activating to do bridge. And what I want you to pay attention to a little bit more today is the sensation in the knee, particularly at the top, when the quadriceps are really firing to hold you up in the air like that. Hamstrings and glutes are also firing, but the quadriceps are certainly firing. Keep going. And then one more time, let's take it up. One more time, let's take it down. All right, good. So I want to play with leg extension in a few different ways. So let's do it the simplest, which is on the ground like this. So you've got bent knees right now. Straighten out your right leg. So you're extending your right leg and then bring it back in and then do the same to the left. So we're just alternating this straightening and bending. And notice what you notice. One knee could feel different than the other knee. I certainly have a pretty significant difference, my right knee being more arthritic than my left. Quite no. Keep going. Okay, take a break. Now bring the knees in as far as they come in for you into the chest, rock your sacrum a little bit. And that now, sort of with the feet dangling like this and the thighs perpendicular, now let's do the same thing here. So I'm going to straighten right, and whatever straight is for me. Maybe I don't go all the way straight. Whatever it is for me is perfectly fine. And then left. So just as much of this range of motion that you can feel. So I was mentioning my arthritic right knee, and I would argue that I'm doing okay with this knee that x-rays show being bone on bone, and I'm okay, and I'm not in any amount of pain, really, honestly, because I'm really always working the mobility of the knee. And when we move like this, the synovial fluid, the natural lubrication of the knee is being activated by the motion, right? That's why we say motion is lotion. So one more time each side. All right, hug in. Again, feel really broad across your chest here. And then we'll come around for a cat and a cow. So here we want to come around. And we are going to do a different hand position today, because I find this hand position actually feels like it opens the chest a little bit more. So rather than being fingers forward, turn your hand to whatever extent you can. So I can turn my fingers all the way back, but again, go by what your arm is comfortable doing. You may be comfortable not quite all the way back, and neutralize your spine. I've got this bulky sweater on, but there's a neutral spine here, long tailbone. You can feel a little bit like kind of you're drawing your pubic bone. You're drawing your pubic bone up, but you're not taking yourself into a tilt yet. That's going to come in the motion. You're looking straight down, neck in line with your spine. So now we're ready for our cat and our cow. So let's inhale, filling the belly, letting that pelvis come into an interior tilt, rolling the shoulders back as we look up, and see if you can feel like you've got this really broad chest here. Then exhale to come into your cat. So your head's going to drop and your pelvis is going to drop, but keep your arm bones in the socket and stay wide in the chest. So see if you can notice that. Keep going. Maybe it slightly changes your range of motion. That would be okay. Let's take 2 more. And then come to neutral and shift your hands right around. If you need to shake out your wrist a little bit, do that. And let's think about a bird dog today. So bird dog's a great one. You know, we focus a lot on the lower back during bird dog quite naturally, but it's obviously an upper body and a lower body practice. So let's focus a little bit more on the broad chest and shoulders and arm bones in the socket during our bird dog today. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale left arm, right leg, and then alternate to the other side. And so go ahead and inhale. So your left arm is lifting and your right leg is lifting. You can almost feel like from your heart, there's an extra support connecting you to the ground. And then come back together, take your second side. So use that kind of guide wire from the heart to the ground as a little extra support here to help really broaden the chest throughout your bird dog. So I'm just bringing your attention to probably something that you don't typically think about during bird dog. I like to shift where our attention is. A couple more times each side, just noticing that. Keep the guide wire idea in your mind's eye. Last set. All right, go ahead and slide right on back to a child's pose. Your arms are forward, your hips are wherever they are. See if your forehead can come down on your mat. And then just go ahead and rotate your wrist in and out. Release any tension that might have accrued in the wrists. All right, now let's inhale to cobra. So you can just come sliding right forward, bringing those hands underneath your shoulders. Roll those shoulders back. The head is basically covered, although you could put your forehead or your nose down on the mat. And let's use your glutes and your inner thighs to bring your legs together so you're balancing your feet, your heels are in the air. You're going to keep that leg position, pelvis really connected to the mat underneath you. Pressing with the hands, let's inhale, roll the shoulders back, and lift and broaden your chest. So your chest is really broad at the top, your elbows are hugging in. And exhale down. So this is a nice chest opening gesture. Inhale up, exhale down. Of course, you're taking your back into a back bend. Couple more times. And exhale. All right, great. Now let's come back up to all fours. And let's play with something interesting that occurred to me. Let's take a block. And what I want you to do, we're going to do a little more bird dog. What I want you to do with the block is I want you to place that block on your thoracic spine, right there. So not on your lower back, place it right there. And we're going to broaden the chest here, and let's do a little more, do 3 and 3 bird dogs where we don't want the block to go anywhere, right? So that's going to be a little check here, right? So inhale, left arm, right leg, come back in, second side. So chest stays broad, so that block isn't going to go anywhere. It's probably not even going to move very much. You keep a nice broad chest, nice flat thoracic spine. I lost count, so I'm going to do one more. Oh, I just felt the block move a little bit. Okay, great. Now you can get rid of the block. Let's come on up in to a downward facing dog. So perhaps your hands are a little ahead of your shoulders, right? Give your arms room for this and shoulders. Broaden your chest, arm bones are in the socket as you tuck your toes and inhale. knees and hips up. Once you're up there, go ahead and pedal. And notice first your really broad chest melting towards your thighs. Nice long spine. And then as you pedal, notice how your knees feel inside the pedaling. All right, now let's inhale. Stop the pedaling. Inhale, lift your hips up, up, and away. And I'm going to do a little tricky thing here. So for the knees. So inhale, lift up and away. I want you to exhale and drop the knees to bear. So you're not touching the ground. You're just dropping your knees to bear. And then inhale back up. We're going to flow that. Exhale, come down. You're in bear. Inhale up. Exhale down. A moment in bear. Inhale up. One more time. Exhale down. A moment in bear. Then inhale up. Fantastic. Exhale. Now inhale and walk forward, bending the knees, hinging the hip into forward fold. So walk up into forward fold. Go ahead and grasp both elbows and just sway here with the knees bent. Just feel how you feel, what you notice. All right, then inhale, let go of your elbows and exhale. Then when you inhale for a half lift, I want to invite you to straighten your legs here in your half lift. And then exhale to re-bend, drop back to forward fold. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. And we're going to do 3 sun sals. I'm going to move this back so that I'm not so, my head's not touching the ceiling. Let's do 3 half sun sals with that same notion of kind of taking the straight leg in the half lift. All right, so when you're ready to go, we're going to inhale up. Maybe you take a little back bend here. Exhale, here's your forward fold. Everything drops and bends. Inhale, take the leg straight in your half lift. Exhale, forward fold, and then inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. We're going to go again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straight leg half lift. Exhale, and then inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands on your heart. Great. Now, let me just check my notions here. Okay, so let's hit. We're gonna go back down to the ground. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Take those straight legs again. Exhale, forward fold. And let's come back down to this all fours place. I want to work the quadriceps and hamstrings here. And this will be familiar if you've been with me, if you've done this before. So find that neutral spine, find that broad chest. The arms are going to stay on the ground, but the leg is going to come up into the air. So stretch your right leg back behind you so it's level. And then you're going to flex your foot. And like you're moving through mud, you're going to pull it in. And this pulling in action is stretching the quadricep while it's contracting the hamstring. And then you might not be as close as me, that's okay. Point the toe, you're going to stretch it back out. And as you stretch it back out, you're contracting the quadricep and lengthening the hamstring. So keep going just like that. You want to move through mud. Don't want to come in too fast, and just really notice the changes in the muscles, front and back of the leg. One more time, take it in. And point one more time, take it out. And bring this leg in. And maybe just kind of sway from side to side. Take a little break here. I haven't mentioned today that if you need to pad under your knees on all fours, you always can do that. I don't know why my arthritic knee tolerates this, but it does. But whatever's comfortable for you. So this broad chest, long spine, Taking the second side, so the left leg, this is my left leg stretching out, level, flex, I'm gonna pull it in, and I'm shortening the hamstring and lengthening the quadricep. In this gesture, I'm gonna point and draw it out. I'm gonna contract the quadricep and lengthen the hamstring. So you can feel that action, right? Just keep it slow, moving through mud. Feel that broad chest throughout. Bring it in and just kind of side to side. Let's go ahead and slide on back to child's pose. Take your arms back behind you, clasp your hands, and draw your shoulders back and arms off your body. Breathe here. All right, so coming on up, let us from here, step your right foot forward, and you've got a 90 and 90 shape. Sometimes we do this out of down dog. We're doing it just kind of out of child's pose today. So nice and tall, we're going to take a side stretch. This is my right leg to the right, and then a twist to the right. Really thinking about the chest, right? So draw your arm bones back and down into the socket. Inhale your arms up, and exhale. Keep the chest really open as you come over into this side stretch. And then inhale back up, and now turning chest and rib cage and shoulders as open as they can be, right? Really drawing this shoulder back to look back behind you. And come back to center. I'll show you a different angle now. So here's kind of this idea of this really open chest as you come into your side stretch, right? As opposed to any kind of compromising it. And inhale up, then turning chest, rib cage, and shoulders to look back. And inhale up, and one more time. Nice open chested side. And then open chested turn. And back you come to center, and you can take this knee in and have a moment here on both knees. Broad chest elevated up. This is a camel setup, which we'll get to later. And then take the left leg forward. 90-90. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, take your side stretch to the left, really broad chest. Inhale up, exhale, take your spin, looking back. Inhale up, exhale, side. Inhale up, exhale, spin. And inhale back, exhale to the side. And inhale up, exhale, twist it around. And then inhale up. You can exhale, put your hands down and take your knee back. And let's go ahead and tuck our toes and inhale up to a downward facing dog. And exhale here. And then let's inhale, walk your hands back as you bend your knees and hinge your hips. You're walking your hands toward your feet. Now you end up in a forward fold. Inhale, a straight leg half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, reverse swan dive. We'll stand up all the way. Exhale, hands in front of our arms. All right, so let's play with this block with chair. So chair is always a hip hinge, right? That's what a chair is. And so you know that. I'm going to just face you. So you can put the block between your knees narrow, or you can choose to do kind of this. Sometimes I like this middle width in between the knees, so which keeps me hip width apart. And you're nice and tall. And inhale, so good posture, right? So long tailbone, pubic bone lifting up, belly button lifting up, chest lifting up. Chest broad, shoulder bones up, arm bones in socket. Okay, good. Now, what I want to do is I want you to do we're going to progress lower and lower in chair. So I want you to just basically bend your knees. So take just like a little modest chair and then come back up. And then go a little bit deeper, right? And this is all according to your body and what's good for you. And then go to your deepest. We've got 3 levels, okay? And then go to that middle place again. And then go to the high place again. We're going to do that again, right? So I want to go to my high spot, to my middle spot, to my deep spot, to my middle spot, to my high spot, and then come on up. All right, take a break from that. Let's put the block to the side. We're going to build a standing series, and we're going to use half moon. So go ahead and put a block on either edge of your mat at the, I like it at the high, at this high position for when I come into half moon. So it's ready. And then we can come to the front of our mat and standing up super duper tall, inhale, then exhale and step your right leg back and open into warrior 2. So this is a great time to feel that expanse across the chest, right? Taking this right shoulder back. The hips are comfortably wherever they are, but this right shoulder is drawing back. And you're going to look at your left hand, but you can test looking at your right hand, just feel broad. Then look at your left hand and inhale here. Exhale and reverse our warrior. So the chest remains open in this dipped position. Then inhale, arms up, and then same thing, exhale over into side angle. And we just stay open, like we're just literally going over on our side. So we're on this elbow. And this is open, open, open shoulder, right? Inhale here. Arm can stay here or can come here. And inhale and exhale, reverse. Then inhale, arms up. We're going to visit goddess today. So come in the middle. So turning your feet so that your toes are out and your heels are in. You can lower your arms down. And all I want to do first is bend the knees towards the toes. I'm going straight up and down. It's not a squat or a chair. I'm just bending, letting the knees float towards the toes. And the same thing, I can go a little bit, or I can go a little bit more, right? So you can sort of do what feels good to you. Just, again, getting the synovial fluid pumping in the knees. And straighten back up. So we're just going to turn our feet so we're organized for the second side and open up into warrior 2. So the front knee bends, right knee over right ankle. Left shoulder really open. Inhale, you're looking out of your right hand. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, over into side angle. Really open chest. Inhale back up and exhale. Inhale up and then face for goddess again. So toes out, heels in. And this time, come down wherever's comfortable for you. Could be a little bit higher, could be a little bit lower. And then we're just going to slide from side to side. So bending into a lateral lunge and straightening the opposite leg. Just kind of floating through, keeping the hips at the same level. And then come to center and up. Let's turn our feet so we're ready for this second side. Let's inhale up and exhale into a reverse warrior. So we're skipping warrior 2, but the chest super open. Inhale up and over into side angle. Let's today exhale and straighten the leg into triangle. So you can lift the top arm up, really open the shoulders here, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then inhale here, exhale to return to side angle. And then inhale up and exhale. And reverse your warrior. And inhale, arms up. Let's have a moment in goddess. So we're gonna do heel raises now. So I actually like to be a little narrower. And just soften the knees again, wherever you like to be. You can be deeper or less deep. We're gonna lift heels and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. So knees are holding us here, wherever they are. Oops. Easy to lose your balance. Core, core, core. A couple more times. All right, you can stand back up. Reposition the feet. We're ready for the second side. Inhale up, exhale, reversing warrior. Inhale, arms up, exhale, broad chest, side angle. Inhale here, exhale, straighten the leg. You're now in triangle, very broad chest, shoulder blades squeezing. Inhale here, exhale, return to side angle. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, reverse. Inhale, arms up. Let's pass through goddess. And we've got less to do here because we've got more to do in the other sequence. So turning your feet, inhale and exhale and reverse. And we'll do both of those things first, and then we'll add on half move. So inhale, arms up, exhale over into side angle. Inhale here, exhale, open into triangle. Inhale up, exhale back into side angle. And I want to keep the body as it is and find my block, if that's going to work for you to find your block, right? And so here, and you can tee open your arm, squeeze the shoulder blades together. So your shoulders are already squared, and what you're going to do is lift up this leg and square the hip as it comes up, right? So you're going to take your weight forward into the block on the front leg, and then square your hips when you can. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then go ahead and step back out of it. Come into your side angle, inhale up, exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, arms up. Let's exhale, let's have a moment in goddess, where we're gonna just transition the feet. And inhale, exhale, reverse your warrior, to our second side. Inhale, arms up, exhale. Side angle. Inhale here, exhale, triangle. Inhale, come back into side angle, but you're thinking about half moon, so you can get your block so it's ready to hold you. Keep the shoulders open. The weight's going to come into the right leg as you lift your left leg, and you're seeking to square the hips. So the hips and the shoulders are squared together. You're facing front. And you may step on out of that and up, and then just take a complete 100-degree break. That was a long standing series. Okay, so let's come down to the ground. There's a bunch of things I want to do. Lower down. Inhale your arms up. Maybe there's a little half a back bend here. Exhale, forward fold. Everything drops. Inhale, half lift with a straight leg. Exhale, forward fold. Then take the knees back. We'll sit down for starters. And stretch out our legs. And let's do something that we've never done before, which is this. Let's put the block again, either way, in between your thighs here. Legs on the ground, so just in between your thighs here. And flex your feet and stretch your hands. Arm bones in the socket, right? Really broad chest. And then flex your hands as you point your toes and alternate that. And then you're just getting a little bit of information by squeezing the block with your thighs. More times. All right, now let's come around to a kneeling position, and let's use the blocks today because we have them actively ready. So you're going to kneel hip width apart and put these blocks next to your feet. We're going to use them in camel, and you could just go down to your heels if that's your practice. But it's interesting to try the blocks. They can be at this height, they can be at this height, Of course, they can be all the way down too. So wherever height you want to play with them. I might play with them at this height today. So inhale, lengthen that tailbone. Inhale, you're so tall. Chest is really open here in this elevated position. Then we're going to exhale and come into your camel and really expand your chest, right? So the blocks are there to receive your hands, or you can go to your heels. Just really expand your chest here, shoulders draw back. Your head can come forward or your head can drop back. Have your head be where it's comfortable. I'm comfortable about here. Just breathe and open the chest. Inhale to come out of it. Let's go one more time. So inhale, you're super tall. Exhale, go on back. If you want to go to the heels, if you didn't go to the heels the first time, you can do that. Just expand the chest and camel and breathe. Then inhale and come back up. Let's move the blocks away, but keep them in play. We're going to get into something for Savasana. And now from this kneeling position, I want to play with Molasana, the really low squat. So you probably have learned some things about this for yourself, including if you want to sit on a block, which is also allowed. So tucking the toes. I'm just going to rock back. My hands can stay connected to the floor. I'm trying to rock back into this deep squat. My heels go down, yours may not. That's okay. So I'm just trying to rock back into a deep squat and just take myself out of it. And last time, rock back and see if you can separate your knees and put your elbows in your knees and hands together. And let's just have a few moments here. And again, you can be sitting on a block and your heels might be up. Whatever it is for you is fine. We'll just breathe here. All right, now see what happens if, and again, if this doesn't work for you, just stop. But I wonder a little bit if you could take your weight over to one side versus the other side. Just see. If it doesn't work, don't do it. I feel this in both knees. So if it doesn't work, don't do it. It's a couple. All right, good. So you're going to take yourself out of your half split, however you need to take yourself out of it. And let us come around. I've got a little more work to do. So sit down. A little more work to do, and then we're working our way down to coming down. But let's do this. We've been doing this week, this tabletop. So your hands are behind you wherever they're comfortable, because you're going to lift up like this to make a table. So find what works for you and make your table. So in your table, your knees are bent, and then the added work, if it's working for you, is to straighten your leg, leg extend each leg. So if it works, do it. Glutes stay lifted. If it doesn't work, don't do the leg lift. Just stay in the position as long as you want to stay in the position. This is definitely a little challenging. Last one. All right, and come on down. Let's come on down to our back and open those shoulders, arm bones back behind you. And hug the knees in, rock your sacrum. Then plant your feet on either side of your mat and windshield wiper your knees. So drop your knees to one side, come to center, drop to the other side. And this is another one that's kind of that's got some hip mobility inside of it, but it's really working all of the joints of the leg, right? So the hips are moving, the knees are moving, and the ankles are moving. So just windshield wiper but it should be pretty relaxing. All right, hug the knees back in, rock the sacrum a little bit. So for Savasana, I'm going to take you into supported fish. Now, if you know that this is uncomfortable, or if it's uncomfortable for you to stay here for very long, you can come out of it when you want to come out of it. Just by rolling off the blocks and removing them. So I have this block on this level in the center of my upper mat, because it's going to capture my shoulder blades and ribs. And then this block is going to capture my head either at this level, or whatever level suits you for your head. You'll see when you get there. So you're sitting on the ground because you're just trying to get basically above T12, right? You just want your rib cage, and then catch your head, so your head's got something, and just feel how you feel, and oops, and see if you can just drop your shoulders open, and you can leave your knees bent, perhaps just letting your knees rest on each other, or you can stretch out your legs. So either way, and just into your breath. And just notice what the airflow is in and out of the chest in this position. We also call this a heart opener, right? Giving space for the heart. And it's also got the added advantage of taking the thoracic spine into the opposite curve of its normal all-day curve, giving the thoracic spine a break. Keep breathing, and let's just visit the knees a little bit. So just kind of visit quadriceps and knees, hamstrings. We can visit hips and ankles too, just kind of everything that we worked today, how you feel, just notice. And we'll be still for a few minutes for Savasana. As I say, if this becomes uncomfortable, you can just roll off the blocks one side or the other and lay back down without any blocks. And you can deepen your breath. And wiggle fingers and toes. And then roll off the block if you're on block. And get the block out of the way and then come back. And then I will be honest, hug your knees in. I actually normally twist before Savasana, but I was so excited about supported fish that I went right into it. So let's twist a little bit now before we transition out. So hugging your knees in, so your knees are bent. Probably your calves are resting on your hamstrings if you are. See what's comfortable. And then just go ahead and just drop your knees over to the left and see if you can tee out your right hand and look out of your right hand. And let's breathe here. And I'm gonna have one change in the middle of this, but just breathe here now. All right, here's the change. Now straighten both of your legs and stay in the twist and breathe as straight as your legs want to be. All right, and then re-bend and come back to center, teeing out the left arm now. So hug the knees in wherever they are for you. Inhale, exhale, drop your knees over to the right. I need to move so that's enough room. Drop your knees over to the right, look out over your left hand, breathe here. And then straighten the legs, whatever straight is for you, and keep breathing. And then rebend and come back to center. Now, have some happy babies. So grab your feet and just do whatever you want to do with your knees inside of your happy baby. Everything's a little out of order today, but that's okay. It happens. And then when you're ready, you can roll over to your side. You can rock up to a seat, however you want to get there. Lately, I've been trying to take the less dominant leg forward just to give it a little change on the seated position. Your shoulders are hovering over your hips and your chest is just nice and broad. Those arm bones sliding back and down into the socket pretty much opens that chest, full chest area and heart area. Let's inhale through our noses. Exhale, side out through your chest and all the way out your knees. Inhale. Side out. And side out. Thank you very much. So we've been going through this process, right? It was head and feet, it was calves and shoulders, it was chest and knees. And now I do honestly, I've been debating what I'm going to do next. Let's go. We're going to go hip and core. We're going to go hip and core. I was debating, but we'll go hip and core. Okay, that'll be good. All right. Thanks so very much. And I'll see you soon.
Okay. Have a good weekend.
Nice snowy
not
weekend.
a weekend. Yeah, Monday. Yeah.
No, I'll see you Monday, but have a snowy weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be yucky. Thank you.
All right. Bye.